Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome. I haven't been on here for some time now, I've realized, and I really wanted to talk to you every Sunday. And then time went by, and I know I haven't been on here for a long time. And this, I think, is going to be the subject of the talk for today of procrastination, not believing in yourself, and having a goal or aim, and just being not in a space of mind to do something, even though you know it's good for you, you know you want to do it, but then this belief coming by and taking you off the path. This definitely is going to be something I'm gonna chat to you about for the beginning of this talk, and then we see how it goes, because as you know, I don't prepare any notes or anything like that, but I am very passionate about my content, and this just came now. I was listening to Aaron Doughty, and he was explaining Aaron Doughty's podcast. Check him out. He's very fun, and he's been with me now for over 2 years. He was the first person I was listening to when I started to listen to this sort of content, and it really resonated with me because it was light, but in the same time it was built on someone's experience, quite a deep experience and quite dramatic experience. And Aaron is showing very nicely his way of where he was, and just a journey that he's done overall the years. Actually, it would be really cool to have interview with Aaron. I've never had interview with anyone on my podcast. And what is happening is that I was looking at my other episodes, and I was looking at how many of them I had and why I am doing this and what's the point and what's my goal. And then I can see that a lot of people, well, it's a lot for me. It's not a lot in general for someone like Aaron, who's got like 1 million of followers or people who are listening to his content. But I was thinking, why do I do that? And I talk to you, I chat to you, to my audience, to help you understand things that you might not understand, if you are, or that you are looking for the answers for, how to understand some things, what's the point of some things, how do I understand myself, how do I understand others, where is my place in the whole world, is there anything else outside of the world, and not is there anything, that you know that there is something else, but maybe you are not sure what. So how to understand this, a little bit about how do you create things yourself, and that it's just normal to feel some things, to go through different experiences, and also how to understand those experiences. And I want to do it and talk about it in the spirit of we are all one. So I think that's, in a very, very small nutshell, that's what I talk to you about here. And why do I want to do it? First of all, when I was going through this, I was looking for answers, and maybe if you are looking for answers, I will be one of your answer. And I am obviously not for everyone. Each and every one of you will have their own ways and their own reasons and ways of finding something. So, and not only finding, but the message would need to be given in a certain way. So it's a specific modality that I use is probably from someone who is still learning, very passionate. Obviously, I've got a certain way. For example, something that I really beat myself about is my pronunciation or my grammar. English is not my first language, and therefore, the way I sometimes talk about things might not be to your liking, or might not be to it might not resonate with everyone. But then, because it's not my first language, I talk in the way that I hope maybe other not native speakers would understand this maybe better sometimes, because I try to talk quite slowly, and they would then empathize with the someone who is trying to speak to the best of their abilities in language that is not their native language. So what I'm trying to say is that maybe not everyone would resonate with this. And also, with this example, by this example, maybe if there is someone out there who is afraid of doing something, or public speaking, or speaking up, or maybe setting a podcast like this, maybe that will be encouragement that you can do it. And thinking, I do it for everyone who listens, to encourage them, to support them, to be vulnerable with them, to show them that you can do things that go outside your comfort zone if you are really passionate about them, those things. And this is how you create your reality. And also that you have to be patient, and that that the rewards might come later or might not come, whichever rewards will be with this podcast, because I don't have any monetary rewards with this, just opposite. But I do get a satisfaction of accomplishing something, even if it's something for myself. And I also do get a great joy when I see the outreach of what I'm talking about, that it reaches places in the world that I've never dreamt of going, or I didn't even know they exist. When I look at some stats of this podcast, even though this is the outreach is still very, very minimal, and that's what was holding me back a little bit for the last couple of weeks. And I was just asking myself, why do I do it? What's the reason? And I was saying to myself, well, no one is listening to me. Well, not no one. I'm so sorry for whoever is listening to me, and maybe is subscribe to the channel. I cannot see that as yet, or is interested, or even laughs, or even if it brings someone a little bit of happiness in in their life, to laugh at my silly English mistakes or grammar mistakes, that's fine as well. I don't mind. I am mentoring this young person, and this person was telling me how she feels that everyone criticizes her in their mind. So wherever she goes somewhere, or wherever she does something that she feels she might be ashamed of, she feels like everyone around her think that she's stupid. That was very heartbreaking to listen to, and also kind of reminds me of what I might have been thinking when I was younger. But also, it's coming back to my inner critic, and things that my inner critic says in my head, also about this podcast, and also about how I express myself, and my mistakes, my language mistakes. And also the girl was telling me how she thinks that She really wanted to go skipping in the park, and she said, but I didn't go because I haven't skipped for a long time, and if someone saw me missing a step or tripping, they would laugh at me. So what I said was, first of all, no one would laugh at you, and even if someone laughed at you, if they did it, first of all, you probably wouldn't see unless they showed it in whatever way, but that would be totally reflection of them. But still, I don't think anyone would do that. But the thing that I told her was, if someone laughed, maybe that would be the first time they laughed that day. Maybe she would actually make someone smile. Maybe she would make someone happy, just briefly. Maybe they didn't smile for a long time. Maybe they were just really sad, and seeing someone skipping in the park and tripping a little bit or missing the steps, maybe it would make them smile. Maybe it would make them wanting to skip, seeing her freely skipping, fresh air, joyful. Maybe it would encourage them or inspire them to also have this physical exercise. So the inner critic, what we think about ourselves, how harsh are we towards ourselves, how judgmental we are towards our words, our appearance, our interaction, our ways of talking, and everything else, is just so sad. And I think the first step of making it easier or making it better is realizing that every time, even now when I speak to you, the little voice in my head is saying, again, you made a mistake, you couldn't find the correct word, you couldn't find the right word. See, everyone will see that you are just faking it, you don't know what you are talking about, and things like this. But I'm sure you know that as well. Everyone and each one, whatever TED speaker it is or whatever CEO it is, they all have the exact same voice in their heads. They all feel very similar emotions, and they obviously cover them with, you can cover those with many things, with, your experience sometimes as well. You can say, I've done this, and that. So, the inner critic voice has no much right to say those things because I have done so many other things. And I always also think like this, and then I think I haven't really done a lot. But when I start to remember what I have done, where I have been, what I have overcome, and sometimes I need my friends to remind me that, and sometimes I ask my friends, I really feel like I haven't done much, I haven't achieved much, and then I ask them to remind me, and this is very useful tool as well. And I'm sure your friends will find loads and loads of things, sometimes the things you don't even remember, because once you achieve something, you are like, I've achieved it, that's it, done, let's move to the next thing. That's what Aaron, I mentioned him today a lot, that's what Aaron was talking about when he said he's achieved his 1 million followers on YouTube. So he's achieved it, and then he said, okay, so what then? What's next? Like, this is just, you are trying to go into, you trying to get to this goal that you set yourself up with, and once you do, sometimes the future can be bleak. Sometimes it's like, okay, so it does not bring you this satisfaction that you thought it was going to bring you. And because I was looking for answers, I found this book, and in the book, I think the answer came to me, and this was about the inner strength. And the book says, we are meant to treat our life as a journey, and each step of the journey we are meant to notice what is around us and act on opportunities that present themselves. How we act, the decision and choices we make when we face opportunities or challenges help us develop inner strength. This is how we become empowered human beings. If we ignore everything around us, if we cover over our senses with a cloud of indifference, we'll miss the coincidences and synchronicities that signal where we are to go and what we are to do. We have to recognize, accept, and respond gratefully to these synchronicities. Becoming conscious of help that we are offered and willing to use it increases our power. This is about something else, actually, so I missed the point a little bit on that, but this is about seeking help. So I was really looking for the answer of why I wasn't inspired, why not only inspired, but why I felt that recording next episode was so hard and I didn't feel confident, and I was looking for some inspiration. And this book I'm currently reading, Caroline Myss, Invisible Acts of Power. This is about the chakras, and Caroline Myss, it's spelled M-Y-S-S. She asked lots of people of examples of how they helped other people, and then she divided those letters, I think they were emails, of those examples of how those people help others by chakras, how people helped others in the base chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, and then the highest chakra. And this book gave me the answer in a sense of if you are looking for answers, they are coming. If you are looking for synchronicities, and start seeing small synchronicities, and I always talk about this in my podcast, I always mention that if you are looking for small synchronicities, they always come, and then you train your vision, you train your hearing, you train yourself to see more and more and more those synchronicities around you. And I was building myself up for receiving, first of all, inspiration and energy to record this podcast, talking about not having enough energy or not having enough belief in yourself to do something that you feel deep inside you are good at, or you really enjoy, or you're really passionate about. Like me, I'm passionate about talking, I'm passionate about mentoring, showing people the answers, or broadening their perspective to enable them to look for those answers, to make them more curious, to look for those answers themselves. I guess I don't want to impose anything or anyone. I like to have this really broad perspective, but also knowing that my experience is not very deep, my knowledge is not very deep, but even though I know that, I still am going here, and I am not perfect, and I am not knowledgeable, I guess, in my mind enough to stay here in front of you and try to let you know about my experience. I am knowledgeable about my experience. I am just losing my words here. So sorry. I'm stumbling like this. As you can see, maybe I do have some block. Maybe it's about maybe it's about a little bit about confidence today, and I know this will pass, and I know more answers will come. And the inner critic is very, very loud these days. If your inner critic is loud as well, know, as I know, that this will go away. An inner critic comes out from fear. I guess the energy is very dense for the last couple of days, I think. Also, today is new moon, and I totally forgot about this. And I was saying to myself, I have to record this episode on new moon. This is new moon in Aries, and this is the start of astrological new year. So astrological new year starts today. So it's very fitting that I overcame my fears and I overcame my nostalgia, and I have, with great effort, I must say, I've recorded this episode. If you have listened to this point, thank you very much. Also, tomorrow is a spring equinox, meaning that the season is changing, the new times are coming, day and night are even, and then days are going to become longer and longer for this hemisphere here. And with this comes hope. I always like to think so. With this always comes hope that things are changing. They never ever stay the same. So if you happen to be in this kind of point that is very blah, that is very bleak, that is very kind of you feel that there is no way out, there is way out. There is always way out. There is no way something stays the same all the time. Sometimes it might require so much patience. And I was looking the other day at my walk at the little tiny green leaves that are just about to come, and I've seen it as a miracle. And those gray kind of very dry looking bushes or trees that are now releasing this very super delicate small little tiny buds of green leaves. These are miracles. They have been standing as this gray, dry branches for such a long time. And I passed by this so many times, and it just looked as if it was dead almost. And now it releases those little tiny green buds of hope. And that's what's gonna happen to you, what happens to me, what happens to everyone. We change. The environment inside us and outside us changes as well. The energy never gets stagnant. And as you know, always I also recommend walks. They are great for releasing energy and making sure that the energy moves. Of course, it's not a solution for everything, but definitely does help, and doing it as frequently as you can. I definitely did that last week, this weekend. So yes, I leave you with these buds of hope, of equinox and new moon hope, which I know is hard because the energy is heavy, but keep on what you're doing. And if you didn't know if you wanted to do something but couldn't find the energy, this is your sign to do it. If you feel a call to it, but you don't feel perfect enough or knowledgeable enough, this is your call to do it. This is your sign to do it. And all the best. And I speak to you soon. Bye bye.